The semi-finals of the Kappa Pro Series is the headline act on a weekend where the Football Queensland Pyramid takes a break. Gold Coast Knights welcome Lions FC down the M1 to the Croatian Sports Centre in what is built up to be a blockbuster on this Friday night. Let's take a look at how either side will start tonight. Gold Coast Knights have named a different team to the one that took the field in the Australia Cup game last weekend. Josh Langdon remains the same in goals. Austin Ludwig and Oscar Dillon will man in the centre of defence. Aaron Reardon will sit in front of them, and Anthony Polyak is expected to lead the line. While Philip Lassam is on the bench tonight as he returns from injury. As for Lions, Aidan Mumford will start in goals. Tommy Jarrett, the captain, along with Rio Ono in the starting 11. Matt Wright-Denton will take his place on the bench tonight. Andy Pengelly will lead the attack for Lions, while Joe Duckworth will float in and around the midfield, as he has been over the recent weeks for Lions. It's 11 degrees and clear skies here at Carrara. As we have the first semi-final of the Kappa Pro Series ready to get underway. Our match officials, referee Anton Schneitschnen, and our two assistants, Oleg Labuz and Alex Johnson. And the fourth official for tonight is Andrew Elks. A spot in the Kappa Pro Series final is on the line, as the next 90 minutes or more will determine who books their spot in the first ever final. And it's Brown's! His shot is blocked and saved. What a start. The opening 15 seconds, Max Brown unleashing. Aidan Mumford it was who came up with the stop. But what a start it would have been for Gold Coast Knights at the Croatian Sports Centre in this first semi-final. Not wasting any time. As we see Martin flick the ball on quickly. Here's Oscar Dillon. He has options ahead of him. And Shelford Deus whipping one in. Brown! He was denied once, but won't be a second time. Max Brown has the first goal in the Kappa Pro Series semi-final. What a start from Gold Coast Knights. Max Brown. With a goal in the second minute to get things rocking and rolling for the home side. Aidan Mumford. He was able to keep him out the first time round, but not on the second chance for Max Brown. And so just like that, Gold Coast Knights 1, Lions FC 0. Here's Pengelly roaming into an offside position. It'll be a set start for Gold Coast Knights. And here he is again. Max Brown into an advanced position, trying to cut it back, looking for Godfrey Dembele. And just not getting the bounce of the ball on that occasion, Gold Coast Knights. And Gold Coast Knights, after going up 1-0, just looking to get into a groove, find their rhythm. They've had the majority of the ball. As Anthony Polyak trying to turn Hassan Ramazani. Tyson Martin plays it off for Deus. Brown with a sublime pass. This time it's Polyak lining up. Aidan Munford getting low to the ground, making the save, cleaning up possession. There's Rigby. Lines the pass up for Jake Minette. And Minette's ball destined for Rio Ono, but Andy Pengelly gets a touch on it. And a little to the frustration of Ono. Gold Coast Knights back with possession, but they can't quite get out of their own end. As the pressure applied, works off for Lions. Well, it's a dream start in a semi-final. It's a dream start in just about any game. To hit the front so early on, to have such command and control. And while the visitors are sporting their Oz Cup away kit, as it is making its debut tonight on the coast, inspired by the Dutch 1988 Euro winning side. They just have been shocked into a start here. As we see Jackson Hart-Phillips progressing up the field. The ball turned over. Now Lions will look to get a few touches under their belt. That man there, Dominic Horwood, coming into the side tonight. He hasn't been a regular face in the starting 11 for Lions. But he, along with Ramazani and Tommy Jarrett, will line up in defence as Fletcher McDonald had his high on a shot. Now Jackson Hart-Phillips once again teaming up with Rigby. Shelford Day is asking for the offside flag. And Max King eventually deals with the trouble. And they'll pick up a foul to walk out of their own end, Gold Coast Knights. While Anthony Polyak is their leading goal scorer. It was that man, Max Brown, who had a chance in the first 20 seconds, but his long-range shot was stopped. And then he followed it up with a fantastic opportunity. Here's Dembele pressing high and hard. And Aidan Mumford coming well out of position to offer support. Dembele getting awfully close to Mumford. Now here's Rio Ono lining up Duckworth. Oscar Dillon making his presence felt. Now it's Lions having their turn of possession. And while this fast start from Gold Coast Knights is a surprise to many, I guess it's none more bigger than for Lions as Tyson Martin wins the ball back. He lays it off for Polyak. And Ada Mumford coming out to scramble. The surprise, none more bigger for Lions than anyone else, as they have only conceded 1 goal in 9 games out of their last 10 matches. No more or no less. So in some ways they have reached their quota tonight. You see Oscar Dillon nodded out for a corner. They've reached their quota and they aren't expected to concede anymore, judging by the form guide, which this run started in round 5. There was a 1-1 draw for the Sunshine Coast Wanderers on that occasion. And ever since then, they've had a clean defensive record. As you see the ball whipped into a cluster of bodies. Rio Ono dances around and then takes it on Rio Ono. And this time it was a save by Josh Langdon. As Rio Ono tracked down the clearance. And he got all of that, looking to bend it towards that near post. Here's a low driving corner. Cleared away once again. So as I mentioned, round 5, 1-1 draw, Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Since then, they've had a sound defensive record, Gold Coast Knights. And 15 is the goal difference they have. 14 goals against, 29-4. So they're quite lethal on both ends of the game. And their attack was fully felt by Albany Creek Excelsior in the Australia Cup, which was so happened to be their biggest win this year also. 10-0 the scoreline in that one. And their biggest loss this year came in round 1 v Gold Coast United in the local derby. That was a 3-0 thumping from their rivals. But since then, they currently sit first on the ladder. 14 games played, 31 points picked up, 9 wins, 4 draws and 1 loss. And a great start to go here in the Kappa Pro Series semi-final. Tyson Martin opens himself up. Deus spots the run of Polyak. Polyak hesitates before lifting it up and over. Back to Max Brown. He heads it for Dembele. It's 2-0. What a start. They're in dreamland, Gold Coast Knights at the moment. As we watch the replay unfold, Anthony Polyak hesitates and then picks out the run of Brown, who this time squares it for his counterpart in Godfrey Dembele. And it's 2-0 here in Carrara. So we are back underway, and in the opening 15 minutes, Gold Coast Knights with 3 chances, and they have taken 2 of them. As Dembele once again making a run forward. Aidan Mumford, is he in trouble? Anthony Polyak believes he should be, and it's a yellow ticket for Lions number 1. As we see the collision again. Anthony Polyak making his case as to why Aidan Mumford should have seen more than the colour red, yellow rather. And Godfrey Dembele just a little slow to get back to his feet. And now it's a threatening spot for this free kick. Anthony Polyak, the leading marksman for Gold Coast Knights. All alone, it's going to be Polyak, and it's 3! Bang, bang, bang! Unbelievable. Anthony Polyak caps off an opening 15 minutes that Gold Coast Knights could have only dreamt about. Unbelievable. We've been on repeat. This game's been on a loop. We kick off, Gold Coast Knights score. We kick off again, Gold Coast Knights score. We kick off again, Gold Coast Knights score. And we're back to the kickoff. Unreal. I'm sure Scott McDonald and his team will be delighted. The players must be over the moon, and the fans that have turned up on a Friday night to support their side have had plenty to cheer about. As for Lions, well, Darren Syme is, I can only believe, scratching his head. As if you're joining us late on this Friday night, that is correct. It is a 3-0 scoreline. There's nothing wrong with your monitor. There's nothing wrong with your Wi-Fi, your setup. It is Gold Coast Knights who are out in front and absolutely sailing at the moment. As I mentioned, their biggest win, 10-0 v Albany Creek Excelsior in the Australia Cup. As for Lions, their biggest loss this year It was 3-1 v Rochdale Rovers in the league. So at the moment, they are sitting on unfamiliar territory lines in terms of being on the wrong side of the scoreboard, but also facing their largest ever loss. If it continues like this, we still have an ample amount of time remaining. And they most definitely have the strike power to hit back here. Lions, that is without a doubt. Of course, Andy Pengelly, the main man, as Joe Duckworth creates some space for himself. Duckworth shot saved by Josh Langdon. As we allude to my comment, this is what they have up their sleeve. The number 10, the captain, Joe Duckworth, Andy Pengelly, Rio Ono in the mix. And we see the corner now come again. Josh Langdon punches it away. And the delivery from Fletcher McDonald, just taking a deflection and away it goes. Brown, Dembele, here's King, saved by Aidan Mumford. Deus thought about the shot. Martin whipping it in, everything they touch is turning to gold. We hear the insights of the coaching boxes. Quite notably, Gold Coast Knights trying to lure Lions out of position. And plenty of encouragement on top of that for Jaden Walker as we see Polyak once again coming forward. Here's Walker whipping it in towards the back post. And Aidan Mumford, no worries this time. He put off a great save just moments ago. And it wasn't only the save moments ago, it was an earlier save to deny Max Brown. We also got gloves to the Polyak free kick. So he's had plenty on his plate, Aidan Mumford. As we see Rigby's pass cut out by King, playing the ball for Polyak. Every time they threaten, every time that ball goes into the front third, a chance is brewing. Polyak. Brown goes to ground. King can't quite get body position. And now it's Fletcher McDonald dribbling it out of danger. Annette. McDonald. Here's Horwood. Assessing his options. Horwood. McDonald. And once again, they just turn over possession. It's been a poor start in terms of discipline and ball retention for Lions. As King gets a footy once again, and Rigby does well enough to hold him off. Woodwick. Back for Langdon. And Lions do well to close down that far side of the field. Here's King. Walker backtracking. No, gets the pass forward for DeBelle. Now Lions, can they create something from this turn of possession? Duckworth, Ono, Jackson Hart Phillips, driving, shooting. Rio Ono keeps it in play. But it's Lions who so it's going to go all the way back for Mumford. Polyak putting pressure on once again. And Gold Coast Knights, this red hot machine, once again back in possession. Reardon links up with Brown. Martin. Darting inside and out. An uncharacteristic loose pass from Walker as in this NPL season. The stats don't lie. Gold Coast Knights currently hold an 84% pass accuracy in the league. They are first in the NPL, and it's been on show tonight. It's the way they move the ball, rotate in and out of positions, and more often than not, their intended pass hits the mark. While Lions, they also sit top of a NPLW stat, tied first with Olympic. They average 41 accurate final third passes per 90 minutes. And they'll be needing to hit that number, you'd assume, in this match, and possibly even more as they have a major deficit to climb back from. Anton Sneitman just ensuring the free kick, rather the throw-in, is taken from the correct spot. And Mumford with a ranging, Langdon rather with a ranging pass. Just picking and choosing. He has a lot of time on his hands. But this time it doesn't reach the intended target. Jackson Hart Phillips trying to get the pass on to Duckworth as quick as possible. Oscar Dillon only knows one way. And now DeBelle. Cuts back in field. Still going to Bellet, runs into Rigby. And not many get past Jacob Rigby. Jesse Rigby. King off the left boot, and Anthony Polyak was in the mix. But Aidan Mumford, the man. 2020 NPL Men's Goalkeeper of the Year, Aidan Mumford. Former member of Gold Coast United. And he has been a part of the Central Coast Mariners and Brisbane Raw setup. as we see Reardon coming forward, and the shot way over the top. Deus does well to hold off Ono. And Ono's delivery just didn't have enough juice on it. Jesse Rigby. McDonald. Now Rio Ono teaming up with Ramazani. Duckworth lays it off. And the shot from Rio Ono continuing to rise. There was a nice build-up for Lions. Interchange of passing. Ramazani pushing forward, and then Duckworth laying it off. However, it hits the wrong net. Depending on which side of the fence you sit. Talk about the star power that Lions do possess and who they need to come into this game. As we see the long range effort extinguished. Ramazani, Matt Rydenton and Joe Duckworth all named in match week 15 team of the week in the NPL. And Matt Rydenton finds himself starting on the bench tonight. While Ramazani and Duckworth both in the 11 to kick off this match. So they have plenty of contributors. Lions. And so do Gold Coast Knights, especially tonight on the scoreboard. 3 different goal scorers. Started off with Brown, then DeBelle, and Polyak was the last one to write his name on the score sheet. DeBelle offering a run. Walker was able to find him. And Dominic Horwood gets in a position early. King will resort back to Ludwig. Well, there wasn't this many goals the last time these two met. Round 9 was the occasion. It was a 1-1 full-time scoreline. Andy Pengelly opened the scoring in the 39th minute. And then Brad Inman equalised in the 48th. So a square ledger. Round 9 ended in. Jackson Hart-Phillips also took an early shower in the 59th minute as he was sent off. But it was a tightly contested match. And this is the second meeting for the two tonight. And this year, the first in the Kappa Pro Series, of course. Their next meeting will take place in round 20. Back at the home of Gold Coast Knights. And that'll be on Sunday the 13th of August at 3:30 p.m. Once again, that will be in the NPL. As both teams topped their pool in the Kappa Pro Series. For Lions, it was Pool D. For Gold Coast Knights, Pool B. Both picking up 4 wins and 1 draw. Finishing on the same amount of points to progress. And of course, if you top your group, or top your pool rather, you land a spot in the semi-final. As we see a charge from Gold Coast Knights. Martin with support. Tyson Martin, did he take the wrong option? As he had Polyak right next to him. And Dembele further on, but instead he decided to take it on himself. And at one point it was 3v1. Now it's Lions' turn with the ball. Manette knocking it up, and it gets sent straight back to him. Duckworth, and his pass off the radar. Brown thought about going aerial, but in the end he could only manage to find a blue jersey. Of course, this blue jersey will make an appearance in the round of 32 tie in the Australia Cup, where Lions travel down to Melbourne to face Melbourne Knights. The Australia Cup draw occurring during the week. And for Gold Coast Knights, they will face Devonport Strikers here at home in their round of 32 tie. As Pengelly reaches Duckworth. Hart Phillips. Can't find Manette. In the 7th round, it was Lions knocking off Redlands United away in a 2-1 win. And a 2-0 win was the case for Gold Coast Knights, who last weekend travelled to Tiger Park to take on Edge Hill United in the 7th round. And Moreton Bay United, along with Peninsula Power, joined these two in the Australia Cup. And Josh Langdon, once again, as safe as can be. And the bright yellow claiming the ball. After a frenetic start, it has slowed down and become quite tame. Both sides creating a chance or two. But nothing of note, as all the damage was done early on as far as Gold Coast Knights are concerned. Ramazani may have gotten away with one there. Made his A-League debut in May of 2021. So a bit of experience for the defender for Lions. And Reardon does a tremendous job to keep the ball in play. And instead of conceding a corner, they'll manage to earn themselves a throw-in thanks to a bit of guile from Aaron Reardon. They look to play their way out from the back. They can't quite manage it. There's Duckworth. Well, it was worth a try. There hasn't been much else going for Lions. And as they say, you create your own luck. Well, that's what Joe Duckworth tried to do just right here, right now. It was a good-looking shot. Just didn't have the accuracy. It's quite the honour roll, Joe Duckworth. 2022 NPL Player of the Year. He was the Lions Players Player. Had a stellar season last year and most of the times the star of the show. And once again, Tyson Martin breaking up play and getting Gold Coast Knights straight on the front foot. It just hasn't happened for Lions as they've given away the ball cheaply and put themselves under pressure time and time again, taking nothing away from Gold Coast Knights, who have created all of their goals from genuine chances. They haven't profited off any mistakes. Now Walker copping a challenge from Jake Manette. And referee Snighton just ensuring everyone is calm and cool. And no card coming out on this occasion. The only card going to Ada Mumford. That was in the 15th minute, which led to the Anthony Polyak free kick, which resulted in a goal. And that was the last goal of this 3-goal run for Gold Coast Knights. And Tommy Jarrett cutting across to ensure that Gold Coast Knights had no way forward. DeBelle getting the better of Tommy Jarrett. Here's DeBelle. Martin whipping it in. Dominic Horwood once again in the right place to deal with the threat. Jackson Hart-Phillips runs into a red wall. Shelford Deus lofting it over the top. Polyak will get there first. And once again, Max Brown making the run towards the back post. Well, we saw so much success in the opening 15 minutes. However, this time, Lions get the bodies back. And Jake Manette, who saw this movie over and over again, is there to deal with it this time. I'm sure much to the relief of Aidan Mumford. And the Lions crew, but they have a corner to defend here. It's going to be whipped in. Mumford forced into a stop to parry it away. Austin Ludwig. It's his turn to play provider. It's a pinpoint pass from the captain. Here's Deus. Looking to beat Jared with a bit of trickery. And Shelford Deus goes to ground. Dembele picks up the loose ball. So as we count down towards half-time, Darren Syme has a team talk and a half on his hands as Scott McDonald's men came out all guns blazing in the opening 15 minutes. And this will wrap up the first half. It's a 3-0 scoreline to Gold Coast Knights. Brown, DeBelle and Polyak all on the score sheet. And it's one hell of a hill for Lions to climb. But they are capable. In the Kappa Pro Series semi-final, it's Gold Coast Knights 3, Lions 0. And we'll be back after these messages for the second half.
Felton Industries is proud to be the official shelter and grandstands partner of Football Queensland. Felton offers a range of premium aluminium grandstands, from elite portable spectator seating to soccer team shelters for players and coaches. Give your fans the best view of the game with Felton's comfortable spectator seating. With sun-safe shelters or powder-coated in your team colours. Whatever your club needs, Felton has a high-quality, low-maintenance seating option to suit. We are the pioneers in Australian-made grandstands and team shelters. Contact Felton today on 1800 834 016 or visit felton.net.au.
Welcome back to Croatia Sports Centre. And it's 3-0. Currently the score to Gold Coast Knights, as both teams make their way back onto the field of play for the second 45 minutes. And I'm sure Darren Syme and Scott McDonald have said their piece, and now it is well and truly down to the players. Not much more they can do, as the Knights currently sit in pole position. Will Knights shine their way through to the Kappa Pro Series final, Or will Lions create one hell of a comeback to push their case for a finals berth? We will find out in the next 45 minutes or more. But for now, we turn our attention to the immediate, and that is Lions, who turn over possession. Max King does well to get out of the way and find Reardon. And then he sets DeBelle off for a run, but DeBelle just on his heels. Polyak putting the pressure on Mumford. And the Lions number one did well to silk his way out of trouble. These Lions are coming out with plenty of intent. They surround Reardon, and Ramazani turns the ball over for the away side. Here's Pengelly. Curling one towards the back post, and Josh Langdon safely takes that one in. Unfamiliar territory right now for Lions to be behind in the Kappa Pro Series. Their only loss coming in the second round of the group stage. That was a 4-3 defeat at the hands of Eastern Suburbs. And their largest win was in round 4 against Wynnum Wolves. They came up with 7 on that night. So they definitely have the goal power in the kit. As Polyak calling for a handball. We saw what he's capable of from a dead piece scenario. From a dead ball scenario, rather. Or a set piece. Have your pick. I've created a new term. And as for Gold Coast Knights, well, they've only conceded 2 goals so far in the Kappa Pro Series. That was in their 3-2 win over Brisbane Strikers. Now here's Brown. Did he have hands on Jesse Rigby? Referee Anton Schnitzman didn't believe so. However, it'll be Knights throw-in. And Deus finds Ludwig. And then his pass around the corner for Reardon opens up some space. DeBelle with some fancy footwork. Reardon floating it over the top. And it was that man again, Max Brown, in the vicinity. But Reardon just pushing the cross a little too high and hard. And if there's anything in Lions' favour, it's their away record. 3 wins and 2 draws away from home with 0 losses. So Gold Coast Knights will buck a trend if this scoreline remains the same. However, history does favour Lions in the away stakes, but they're going to need to get moving here if they want to keep that tally at 0. As Polyak once again beats his man to DeBelle. Reardon. Reardon's going to strike! And it comes off the crossbar. 3 oh so nearly turning into 4. DeBelle, Reardon, bang. And away it goes for a goal kick. Aidan Mumford not getting a touch. And there was an opportunity for Gold Coast Knights to extend their lead, albeit something out of absolutely nothing. As Aaron Reardon, he played professionally in Bangladesh, a part of Port Melbourne in the Victorian NPL, and has some A-League experience with the Brisbane Roar. And that strike right there, I'm sure, has been in his kit bag for some time, showing it off around the world. Tabele just losing his footing as he looked to put a stop to the Rigby pass. Munford goes up and under to clear it out of harm's way. And now Rio Ono will put his foot on the pedal, looking to catch Gold Coast Knights out, but they simply connect in the pass and play themselves out of trouble. Ludwig. Now Walker. Godfrey Tabele getting free once again with a lovely pass. Polyak just waiting for the ball to run. Dominic Horwood intertwining and cutting out that lovely delivery. But it could have been on again for Gold Coast Knights as we see Dembele break free. And the pass for Polyak just didn't have the legs in the end as Dominic Horwood was back on the mark. Well, that's fantastic play by Shelford Deus. Polyak teeing up Brown. Max Brown has a brace. And Gold Coast Knights have 4. In the 54th minute, it's Max Brown once again finishing off the move from Gold Coast Knights. They come down this right-hand channel. Anthony Polyak making the run. Shelford Deus finding his man. And Max Brown just had to finish off the chance. They don't look like letting up, Gold Coast Knights. It's 4 here at home. And for the fans that have turned out on this cold Friday night, they are being treated to a sublime performance, a fantastic effort, and a well-drilled team on the march for the Kappa Pro Series final. While they have a healthy away record, tonight may dash that clean sheet for Lions, and they're going to have to get used to playing away from home. The next 5 games all away. The next three against Peninsula Power, Gold Coast United and Olympic, as 6 of the last 7 NPL games will all be away from home, as Nigeria will set up shop for their FIFA Women's World Cup campaign at Luxury Paint Stadium. It's not until round 22 against Moreton Bay where Lions will return home. But until then, they're going to have to get used to playing on the road, and it all starts here. Well, it's not a great start, not for that away run and not for the debut of the new away strip, as Dembele couldn't quite keep the ball. And then Walker's shot straight at Mumford. It has been a mixed bag for Lions, while they are currently on a 2-win streak with a 3-1 win and a 2-0 win against Brisbane Royal Youth and Brisbane City. They couldn't manage the 3 points against Sunshine Coast Wanderers, as they lost that one and almost lost sight of Dembele as he was flying through for another chance. As we catch the replay, Polyak just teeing it up for Dembele. He just couldn't quite grab body position. And then before that, they faced Redlands in a 2-2 draw, and then Moreton Bay, where they came away with a 2-1 win. So they've gone win, draw, loss, win, win, Lions. And that 2-win streak may be coming to a close tonight. As Duckworth gets it to Ono, Pengelly has Hart Phillips, whose shot was trucking wide. And now Tyson Martin will lay on the deck. He's not moving. And there's cause to stop play. As Tyson Martin is still down in a bit of pain. However, it seems as though he's slowly getting to his feet. And all is good again, as he'll use the supplies from Josh Langdon. Taking a bit of water in. And it looks as though we'll be able to get back underway. The drop ball will restart the action. Jesse Rigby. And to get play resumed. Manette. Ludwig clears for the home side. And now Dembele's on a run. And Dembele just couldn't keep possession. Jackson Hart Phillips covering plenty of kilometres tonight up and down that left-hand corridor. Ever so energetic. As we see him pick up the ball in an advanced position here, Jackson Hart-Phillips. Ramazani. Now Hart-Phillips again. Pangeli was offside. Josh Langdon just double checking, making sure that all things were safe and clear at the back for Gold Coast Knights and not relying on that flag. As we see Jake Manette play that ball across to Jackson Hart-Phillips. And then Hassan Ramazani whipping it in before Hart-Phillips getting ahead on things. And we see the substitutions being made for Lions. Number 17, Ivan Ozzie, and number 20, Zeke Lavender, have both made their way into the fray. Ivan Ozzie will be someone who can turn the fortunes for Lions in 2022. He was the Golden Boot winner in the under-23s with 25 goals that season. So they'll be looking for a little bit of his spark and magic to turn things around. Reardon has blue jerseys converge on him. Once again, impeccable with the ball. Picks out the right option at the right time, Aaron Reardon. And Ludwig, along with Oscar Dillon in no rush. Oscar Dillon represented Western United in the A-League and a key member of Oakley Cannons in the NPL Victoria. As for Austin Ludwig, he was an NPL Queensland All-Star representative a couple of years ago. And of course, picked up the grand final win last year with Gold Coast Knights as they toppled Olympic at Perry Park. 2-0 the final score in that one. And one of the goal scorers on that night, Pasquale De Vita, has made his exit from the club, joining Olympic mid-season. After coming from Southwest Queensland Thunder, he's now made his way from Toowoomba to the coast and now to Brisbane, where he wears a different red, Pasquale De Vita. And his side will be in action tomorrow night as they face Moreton Bay United at 6 p.m. live from Walter Park on YouTube, on FQTV, of course, for the second semi-final of the Kappa Pro Series. Brown, well, it was just too good to be true. He was in clear air. And he thought the flag was a good chance of making its appearance as he floated into a very good position, illegally albeit. But that's what he's done all night tonight, Max Brown. And not only that, he's also found the back of the net on 2 occasions. So we've had plenty of goals tonight. Who knows what tomorrow night tosses up in the second semi-final. as I mentioned, Moreton Bay United v Olympic FC from Walter Park at 6 p.m. live and free, FQTV on YouTube. And by tomorrow evening, we will have the two teams who have earned their way to the Kappa Pro Series final. And Josh Langdon going to ground as there was no one around him. And you heard in the effects mic the grunt made from his way as here he is just slipping over and has a awkward hobble and wobble in his step. And then he was reduced to the ground as he'll receive some attention. The NPL Queensland goalkeeper of the year last season, Josh Langdon. An absolute shining light for this Gold Coast Knights outfit. And a signal has been made back to the bench. One of the informed shot stoppers is the last thing you need to go down injured. Just running through some tests and bouncing around. So we hope Josh Langdon is A-OK. As he looks like he'll continue on. Here is Max King coming off. And it's the number 19, Jacob Mudnich, who will replace him. Signed from Kapalabar FC, Mudnich spent time at Raw Youth. And now he'll square up in the midfield for the remaining minutes of this match. Polyak in between Hart Phillips and Ramazani. DeBello offside. What a game he has had. Godfrey Dembele, 2022 NPL Young Player of the Year. He was formerly a member of Eastern Suburbs, who Lions outjousted in their group. Group D it was. Lions getting through to the semi-final stage by 4 points on the ladder. And he has produced plenty of attacks. He's been a thorn in the side all night for Lions. Every time he gets the ball, he looks ever so threatening. As that was a threatening cross. And it's Lavender coming into contact with Walker. Here they go again. And this time Walker will get the pass around the corner. Now it's Duckworth, who was offside. He did roam into a great position here, Joe Duckworth. Just a little too eager in the end, as the timing was a tad off. Ono under pressure. Tommy Jarrett gets him out of trouble. Matt Rydenton on the park for Lions, as he's a new face coming off the bench into this match. Over 130 A-League appearances. Spent time with Wellington Phoenix, Newcastle Jets and the Brisbane Roar. And he's a New Zealand under-17 and under-20s representative. And here he is with the throw in, just getting things moving. Lions need to pick up the pace as Duckworth leaves it for Ono. Rigby and Jarrett. Now Aussie. And Shelford Dias, ever so strong, holds off the challengers and then earns the free kick as he and Ivan Aussie just have a little said to. Shelford Dias not appreciative of the contact, and Ivan Aussie standing his ground. Not just going to get walked all over by Shelford Dias. Spent time in the Central Coast Mariners system, a part of the Raw Youth, and had a 5-year tenure with Olympic FC between 2018 and 2022. Of course, he was on the wrong side of last year's grand final. As this season he joins the team that came away with the silverware against his old mob. He could come up against his old side in the grand final as they have an opportunity tomorrow night. And Tyson Martin just getting a little bored with things as he pretends he's on the basketball court. And we have some substitutions being made. Jean-Philip Lazem will come on. Christian Brian Mora, the number 9, will also make his way onto the park. And Brandon McMorrow will get some minutes in the semi-final. And for Jean-Philip Lazem, returning from injury tonight. It's been a long layoff for the midfielder. However, tonight he's back on the park. And there's his first touch after recovering from a stint on the sideline. So a handy face to welcome back into your squad. He too a former Olympic member. So I'll be hoping to ease him into things. And Brandon McMorrow made his first team debut against the Raw Youth in the Australia Cup last year in 2022. He's in the number 11. And it's Christian Brymora in the number 9, missed part of 2022 due to injury. And he won the Northern New South Wales NPL Premiership with Edgeworth Eagles. Christian Brymora now finds himself up 4-0 in the semi-final of the Kappa Pro Series here with Gold Coast Knights in the Croatian Sports Centre. The corner ever so close to that front post. Aidan Mumford made a play at it. It was congested in that goal square. As we're back live, Ivan Aussie standing tall. Matt Ryan-Denton just getting his boot astray as it makes contact with Lazem. So a free kick for Gold Coast Knights. Jacob Mudnich standing over the top of it. Austin Ludwig will advance forward. Mudnich just bending it. Oscar Dillon was in the hunt. And Wright-Denton loses out immediately as Lions look to turn defence into attack.
Tommy, higher. Keep going.
They haven't seemed to get into gear this Lions side. As Gold Coast Knights started very, very fast from the opening whistle. And they went on with things while Lions eventually stopped the bleeding. It was a little too late as they had racked up 4. And now with the remaining 10 minutes left in this match, they're going to have to start with 1. Will they think any further ahead? However, even if they do get 1, they've still got 3 more to grab. Which is a tough, tough task away from home on a Friday night against a red-hot Knights. Here's Mudnich. McMorrow. Brown looking for a hat-trick. And Ivan Ozzie getting twisted up with Tyson Martin as the second yellow card will be produced for the substitute, Ivan Ozzie. Here was the shot by Brown, and then Tyson Martin just getting ahead of the line. And the free kick was handed out. Now it's Jacob Mudnic. Will he look to float things in again, or does he have another idea in his mind? It's going to be Mudnic trying to curl things into that empty part of the net. There's more substitutes coming on. Shelford-Deus will get an early break. And it's the number 18, Luke Beckwith, coming on for Gold Coast Knights. They have plenty of reserves in those left and right back positions. Zahi Addis joins the queue as he has just signed for Gold Coast Knights. That was announced during the week. He is signed from the Brisbane Roar. Zahi Addis, as he'll wear the number 16 at his first training session on Tuesday. And we'll hope to fit into this Gold Coast Knights puzzle as Brian Mora lofts it up. And Max Brown, once again, there or thereabouts, every single time. As Tommy Jarrett was glued tight to him, Aidan Mumford just had to fall on the ball. But he's asked plenty of questions tonight, Max Brown. And as for Lions, well, they can turn their attention to the NPL. They currently sit fourth. 15 games played, 26 points. 7 wins, 5 draws, and 3 losses. And that round 14 victory over Brisbane City away from home was a major help as City now sit 4 points behind them on the ladder. So do the Rochdale Rovers. And Moreton Bay currently sit in third spot with 27 points, 1 more than Lions. Gold Coast United in 30 points with them taking up second position. And of course, Gold Coast Knights lead the line. There was another chance, ever so close, for Gold Coast Knights. As they'll get a corner. Lassam just getting a touch. Ludwig had nowhere to go. Now Duckworth plays right Denton, who spots the run of Ramazani. And Lions will get the free kick. Mudnic cutting away from Aussie. Brown with a lovely pass. Here's McMorrow holding it up. And the shot from Luke Beckwith just skewing off the side of the foot. As we have more substitutions being made. Andy Pangeli and Joe Duckworth see their night come to an end. And it's number 22, Luka Jankovic, along with number 13, Cooper Nichols, who will replace the two senior members of this Lions outfit. So Darren Syme already having one eye on that upcoming round 16 clash against Peninsula Power. And of course, I'm sure plenty of planning and preparation already going towards the round of 32 tie against Melbourne Knights away from home. As for that Kappa Pro Series run, well, it has come to an end tonight. They make it out of the group stage, Lions, but that is as far as they go. The final was not to be, as Gold Coast Knights are still alive in everything. The premiership race, well, that's only going to heat up as we count down to the final rounds of the NPL. Of course, where they currently sit right now, they will make the finals, which is another piece of silverware they'll look to grab, as Mudnic getting a bit lucky perhaps, but was still on his run as the crowd's anticipation rose. And their anticipation will be hot for their round of 32. Tie v Devonport Strikers here at home in the Australia Cup, along with their finals berth of the Kappa Pro Series. So between the NPL, Australia Cup and Kappa Pro Series, there's plenty going on if you're a Knight. Ramazani takes on McMorrow. Ono looking for the run of Jankovic. The Knights do what they have done tonight. Play their way out of trouble. In transition, in lightning pace from defence to attack. Max Brown on that occasion runs out of room. But it's been a fantastic performance from the men in red. Their next match is on Tuesday night. They face Redlands United here at home. That is a catch-up match for them as they missed round 15 due to their trip up to Cairns, to Tiger Park. And then they go away, home, as it's Sunshine Coast Wanderers at the Sunshine Coast, Brisbane City at home, Brisbane Royal Youth away. Then they face Peninsula Power back at home. So that's what rounds 16 to 19 look like for the Gold Coast Knights. As their last loss in any competition was in round 1 against their rivals in the local derby. Anton Schneitman will be in charge of how long remains after the 90 minutes expire. Gold Coast United are victorious in the first semi-final, knocking off Lions 4-0. Goals to Max Brown in the 2nd minute, Dembele in the 13th, Polyak in the 16th, and then Max Brown in the second half in the 45th minute, making the scoreline 4-0. It's an absolute romp here at Croatian Sports Centre as Gold Coast Knights will advance to the Kappa Pro Series final. And they'll wait to see their opponents as they clash tomorrow night. Full time here, Gold Coast Knights 4, Lions 0.